Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Raheem here. This is just a little short, maybe conversation here. Maybe not a conversation, but information. I got a call recently from some brothers who basically was saying that, brother, you really know that Injil, you know the Bible. And, you know, you really put that stuff out there, you really standing up. And there's a whole lot of other brothers. We will be with you. We'll be down with you. But why don't you, all you got to do is just say, that you was taught this by the messenger. You follow the messenger and you just explain his teachings. And we'll be with you. Really? Then I'd be a liar. And you'd be following a liar. And you'd be following someone who doesn't want you to follow them. Because I've never, ever asked anyone to follow me anywhere. We're to raise gods, not followers. Now, if you want to support this message, fine. But I'm not a follower of Elijah Muhammad. I was once upon a time a follower of Elijah Muhammad. Read the scriptures. It says, when Joshua, Jesus, came to him, John, he didn't even want to baptize him. He said, I'm not worthy to baptize you. But Jesus insisted. That means Suleiman would be a follower of Elijah Muhammad. He'd be baptized him. Read what baptize mean, the word, initiate. See, he initiated me into Islam. But you got to, don't get it twisted. See, no boy brought me into the nation of Islam. No one. Well, I can give my father some credit because he took me into the first time I ever went to a temple. He took me there, but I was about 12 years old. I had no idea what that was all about. I had no idea who he was registering. I went in there. I thought it was a church or something. I had no idea. First time I went, well, he took me in. Then he passed away not too long afterwards. And I never knew that he was processing anything. So as far as I go, otherwise, I never read a Muhammad Street newspaper. I knew nothing about the Nation of Islam. Absolutely nothing. I was in the military. I knew nothing about the Nation of Islam. Nothing about Elijah Muhammad. Nothing about Malcolm X. I went to military in 1966 at 17 years old. And anybody who was around during that time knew we didn't watch TV, we didn't play video games. Everybody just hung out in the street if they wasn't going to school. When I went to the military, I was surprised after I got there that there was a Vietnam War. I went there to go off the streets because I was, I saw what was going on. I said, man, this ain't going to work. I was orphaned. I had nobody, just me and my sister, me and my little sister. That's all, it was just us. And I got off the streets of Newark. See? But I was a Bible reader. And it was 3 years later, 4 years later, I'm in Vietnam. I got up to the book of Malachi. And it hit me that this person, Elijah, must be around. I mean, I'm looking at him saying, this during this time, he must be here somewhere. So I left the military and went looking for him. I actually walked out of the military looking for him. And that's I talked about that before. See, so I'm not going to all the details. See, so I went and found Elijah. See, well, I'll talk about it a little bit. When I came back to Newark, I was telling I saw this guy, hung around with a little bit. He was from California. I never knew anybody from California. He was kind of weird. I think everybody in California is a little weird, at least I did that time. I was telling him about what I was doing. Because everybody knew when I was hanging out in the street anyway, that I was on to the Bible. That's why I got in fights and stuff all the time. What are you talking about that stuff all the time? That Bible stuff. You know, that's what I was interested in. That's in the library. She said, "You sound like one of them Muslims." I said, "What's this Muslim?" Because all the time I was in the military, I was always fighting these white guys, and people go ask me, "Are you a Muslim?" I had no idea. I said, "What's that?" So it never occurred to me to look it up. I didn't think I thought it was like some kind of gang something. I didn't know what that was. See, and so he said, I said, "What's this Muslim thing?" People keep telling me. He said, "Why don't you go down here to I think Cottage Grove Avenue. I think I've got the name of the street. I used to live right around the corner from it, from the Temple. Temple 25. I actually lived right around the corner from it. I used to go across the street and play pinball machines at the corner store. And I used to see it. I never saw anybody going out of there. I didn't have no idea what that was. And on Fairmont Avenue, a block away, a block away, 2 blocks away from that, from there. So I go down there, and I'm saying, I'm going to check this out. I went and bought me, I went and got me bought me a dashiki. I was gonna be African down, because I was always militant. I was always militant. When I was in Heidelberg, when James Brown came that song, "Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud," I went and bought me a bit the loudest, and it wasn't hardly any black folks up there when the building was in, the Billets. And I got the loudest little record player I could find. All I played, "Say It Loud, Black," and they were looking at me like, "I don't care. I ain't never been afraid of white folks." That's all I played. So that's probably the reason why I sent my ass to Vietnam. We got me a dashiki, man. Hey, I had a fro. Ooh, had a bit. I had a fro, right? I got a picture of it now. Man, I had me, boy. I had me. My fro was out of sight, right? Got me a dashiki, right? Got me some. Uh, um, I never wore those platform shoes, but I was down. I was gonna bop up in there, boy. I was gonna be African down. I didn't know what to expect when I got in there. All I had to do is I remember, and I didn't even remember I had been there before. Because the last time I was there before, I was like 13 years old, 12 years old, something like that. My father took me in there. It didn't occur to me till after I got in there that I had been in there before. And I'm sitting down there. Well, no, when I go in there, he wouldn't let me in. So I just went down there. So I don't know what day, when in retrospect, I must have went in on a day that wasn't like a Wednesday or Friday, or it was during the week, so it must have been on an off day, because he wouldn't let me in. And then he made a comment, said, "You can't come here like that." I said, "I can come in like that. I'm African down, man. I'm thinking this really got to be African. These people got to be Afrocentric, man. And they got a problem with me looking like this." I said, "What you mean?" He said, "No, you can't come." I said, "Okay." So he told me. I went out, man. I bought me a expensive suit. I know that suit that time must cost about a couple $100. And that's in 1970. That's a lot of money. Had me some patent leather shoes. I got that Afro cut down because I'm getting in here. See, I've been hearing all these years, Muslim stuff, and then this brother tells me go down there. They tell me I'm getting in here. I got to find what this is all about. So he told me when to come back in. I came in. I think must get on Friday or something. I came in the next day. It was available. I tell you that. I get up in there. So I'm sitting down. Before I could get my behind warm, the seat warm, the brother said, "God's a man." Like it's like a flood just rushed right through me. Because I always bleed. I always tell people I was crazy. I said, "God's a man." "Ah, man, you one of the atheists." And I was always saying that. And when he said that, like I said, man, I know I'm in the right place. Like I'm at home. And all the time, I may walk from the military. I was a sergeant. I gave all that up. I was buying a Porsche. I was going to go to college. I was ready. I was going to come back hard. I gave all that up, looking for Elijah. And when I got in, and he said, "I want to be part of this." So they told me what I had to do. I started registering. I got there, I think that the first of August. I had my expired 21st of August. And the guys, brother said, "Ain't nobody ever got exited as fast as you did," because I was serious. And in my haste, I still hadn't made the connection about Elijah. I don't know how that happened, because they must have. I know they had talked about Elijah, but I didn't make the connection. I was so busy, I'm going to get part of this. And then it finally dawned on me, this was Elijah's organization. I said, what? It was like, bam, a second wave hit me. Bam. Because I'm thinking this is like a church, like only place right here. I'm not thinking like this is like a national organization. That's how ignorant I was. I had no any of this stuff. All I know is what he was saying matched what I was thinking. You see. So I went to Mr. James Boz and says, where's this Elijah at? He told me Chicago. I said, I'm going to Chicago. He told me, you can't go. I can't go. I need to travel. I said, well, give me I don't get He didn't want to give me one. He didn't want to let me go. And most of the brothers in there, I knew most of them anyway because I grew up a lot of them. But I wasn't paying attention to them. I had to make, because I was so busy on just getting involved in this that a lot of stuff was just going past me, right? About the fact that Elijah's running this thing and most of these brothers, like I said, I remember I grew up, I literally lived a block away from, 2 blocks most, away from there, from the temple, see? Because I used to work at the A&P, the A&P court up street from it. I don't know if it's still there or not. See? Every on the weekends, I was going in, people take people's groceries and stuff. So I finally, I told my assistant, he told me, you can't go out, just hypocrites there and everything. He tried to discourage me. Hey, boom, right? I prevailed by September, right? I was in Chicago. Stayed there until Elijah Muhammad passed. Until he left the part. He hasn't passed. So that's how I came to the Nation of Islam. Nobody fished me in. I never read Muhammad's newspaper. First Muhammad's newspaper I read was after I got registered. For doing my registration, I might have been selling papers or something. I don't know what I was doing. At the time, like it was 1970, I was 21 years old. I got my ex August 21st, 1970. Those sevens really, they will stick with me, brothers, sisters. 1949, 7 times 7. January 21st, birthday, 3 times 7, right? When the plague comes in, right? I'm 70 years old. Those 70s rock, they stick with me. I can go on and on with these 70s. With 70. But anyway, that's how I came. So I don't need anybody to tell me all this crap they talked about. See? I am not, right, under Elijah Muhammad's authority. And I'm not under Master Prophet Muhammad's authority either, as a matter of fact. He's the God. But you don't understand the relationship there. See? Now, if anybody's broken those seals before I did, just show the evidence. Because I can stop. Because believe me, it's been a heavy burden for 30 years studying this book. Farad was not, Elijah Muhammad told me this was self-taught. Farad, do they pay attention to these lessons? Elijah said he'd be self-taught. Farad was not self-taught. He tells you his father taught him. Father went and got these books and taught him. He was not self-taught. Elijah Muhammad was not self-taught. And Farrakhan, well, you can't teach him because he's stupid. See, he got a nice face and smile and you love him. But he's a coward, he's a clown, he's stupid. And he can't forget about the injury. He can't even touch the Bible, the sealed Bible. He can't even get to that one. This whole group, Ishmael, all of them, they're a bunch of idiots. So I'm not under their authority. So if anyone has a problem with that, then go hang out with Elijah. Hang out with scriptees. Hang out with demons. Nobody's telling you to stay here. Nobody's asking you to give me anything. I don't want you out there confusing this information with all the other stuff you got there. If you get this information I'm giving you, if you give a message to the black man, hang with the message of the black man. You better read the scripture. That's the whole reason why Jesus did not want, you understand, any Elijah Muhammad's followers. Those people hung up with Elijah Muhammad, John's followers, because he said he didn't want to mix old wine and new wine in old vessels. Because he said it'll poison it. And that's exactly what this clown was trying to do. And that's exactly some people around here that claim that they were behind this message. They feel the same way too. They just ain't saying it because I know it. I know them. People don't understand how much I know, and they don't understand. They don't understand me at all. See, they still hung up with Elijah. I support Elijah 100%. I support Prophet Muhammad 100%. I bear witness to them, but I'm not under their authority. And nobody taught me. I'm self-taught. It tells you right there. I mean, can't you read? It says that the Lamb was self-taught. He said he broke the seals. No one in heavens or earth or under earth could do it but him. So who could have taught him? But Rob was not self-taught. In fact, Elijah Muhammad, you see, you don't even, you stuck, you don't even, that's why I went to Chicago, so I can get the information strictly from the horse's mouth, so to speak. Because a lot of stuff that Elijah Muhammad said is not even made public anymore. I mean, because you had to, they don't have it in books and stuff. But they made it clear. Elijah Farah is a made God. He said he's not, well, I'm not going into any details about that. Because he's a made, I'll just say this much, because his father, right, it was a conscious effort to bring Farah into existence. In fact, his first child was a daughter. See? And he said, he wanted a son. So he went and got this woman, says from the Caucasus Mountains. She was Caucasian, cleaned her up, right? In fact, the book of Esther says she was Jewish, right? Because if you read the book of Esther, that's talking about Farah, his father, his mother, Esther, his mother, right? But anyway, and the first child was a daughter. So Farah has a sister. I don't know where she is. He knows, I guess. But then Farah, and father taught him. He went and got these books from all these scientists. And he taught her. He was not self-taught. Elijah Muhammad was not self-taught. And Prophet Muhammad was not self-taught. Prophet Muhammad, all the knowledge he got was revealed to him. See? And what Elijah Muhammad got was revealed to him. And what Farah got was taught to him. What I got, nobody taught me anything. So these clowns come in, ease up on me, because I've had my little run-ins with these scriptees and these demons, especially scriptees that ease up on you. Okay. Like. Okay. And they think I can't see them. And that's one of the problems with dummies. Because dummies always think they're smart. That's part of the problem being a dummy, because you're too dumb to know you're dumb. No, a dog doesn't know he's a dog. So if you have a problem with that, no problem, just go on. Nobody make you stick around here. Just don't be mixing this information up with other stuff like some people are doing. I started seeing this happen now. Don't mix this up with your garbage, your clown stuff, right? Your BS. This is a serious message, because it's serious times. And our people's lives are hanging in the balance. That's why I go on my page and I got all this garbage on there, stuff that don't mean anything. I constantly getting rid of it off the page, because if people see it, they think, if you go around and say you're going to a hospital, right? You're going to see a doctor. You're serious. You're really sick, right? And you say, "Well, I walk around in clown suits." You're going to go in there and have somebody operate on you? Same thing. So if you got all that garbage on your page, right? Because they do that purposely. So you see all that, then you associate what I'm saying with. That's why I didn't like Facebook. I hate Facebook. That's what the people are. It took me years to even mess with Facebook. And sometimes every other day I keep saying I ain't gonna do any more posts on Facebook. I don't like YouTube that much, but it's at least better than Facebook. See, just put your video out there. Facebook, you got a page, and they can associate all kinds of stuff. You understand? Dilute what you're saying with their garbage. And that's what happens. Because here you got this message, and all around this message, this BS, that BS. Oh man, look, you know, I went on a vacation, and look what I did. Look at my pretty dress. You know, look at my oh man, hey man, watch this rap move. You know, so that takes away from the seriousness of the message. That's why I hate Facebook. Believe me, a week or so ago, I stayed off it for a while. I was really, had to really, I was told myself I'm not ever going to do any posts on Facebook anymore. Like you saying, man, well, hey, I got to keep on. I got to keep on getting this message to people. See? So, I mean, I inspired by Elijah on that because see, he had to jump in the ship boat to get us, to deal with us. So I take that inspiration from him because Facebook is a shithole, period. See? And this message should not be associated with anything like that. But that's what the people are. So the message has to get out. And so for 30 years, right, since I broke the seals, I've had my web pages, I've had all kinds of stuff, websites. And for years I go and not get any response to anything. And so if people think that somehow I'm looking for likes, look somebody follow me, they're out of their damn mind. Because if that was the case, I would have stopped a long time ago. I don't care if anybody ever pays attention. That's their business. I'm putting the truth out there. If they don't accept, that's their problem. They're the ones got to live with that, not me. I'm going to keep on doing it until Farah takes and makes his move. And we get the hell out of here. And like, if Elijah Muhammad's correct about this, at that time it's only going to be only be enough believers to put in the tax cab, then so be it. You know, if you look at Noah, right? It was only 9 people on his ark. After 800 years of teaching, right? 9 people on the ark. But, you know, that's symbolic. It was more than that. But because that's that, you know, it wasn't that ark, it was something else. Anyway, but I mean, there's a hint there. So this message stands alone. We bear witness to Elijah Muhammad, the messenger of Allah, no doubt. Like the Bible says, no greater man has ever came from the woman, right? But it says, even the least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than him. I know you know that's kind of contradictory, isn't it? That's the case. Elijah Muhammad could not touch the injury, couldn't come anywhere near it. It's not a put down. See? So I'm just letting you know, if you think that I'm somehow ripping off Elijah Muhammad's teachings or I'm subordinate to him somehow, you're absolutely wrong, because I'm not. I'm not teaching Elijah Muhammad's teachings, right? I'm not a follower of Elijah Muhammad. I'm not under Elijah Muhammad's authority. I'm the breaker of the seals. Suleiman, the high priest, period. Now, if you got a problem with that, fine. See? Because that's why they got that little blocking mechanism. Every time you come to BS, I block. I'm not going to argue with you. I don't waste time arguing. When you have the truth, you don't need to argue. See, when you argue, that means you're not sure yourself. Somebody come and say, your name is Ahmed, right? Hey man, your name is Ahmed. Oh, yes, my name is. Stop. Why would you do that? That means if a dog stop barking at you, going to bark back at the dog? Everybody gonna look at you, they ain't gonna have a problem with the dog, they have a problem with you. So why you acting like a dog? The dog is acting like itself, so nobody got a problem with that. So the dog stop barking, hey, you just put a muscle on his ass. Barking back at him. So that's one of the good features of Facebook. And I probably got the longest block list Facebook ever had. I know it means there's 1,000 people on it. Because when they started being, hey, let's block them, I ain't got time. I hit them with a little something, right? The only reason I even comment, say something negative to them, right? So other people can see just what I think about them. That don't, I'm not trying to have no celebrity thing here going. I'm not looking for fame and fortune. If I did that, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. If I wanted fame and fortune, I could have had fame and fortune. Well, since I could have been extremely wealthy, I mean, I have been there, right? See, when at the time I broke the seals on the angel, right? I was living in a mini mansion, 5 bathrooms, in very exclusive place up in exclusive place in New Jersey, and that's a fact. And I could have kept on going. I was investing in real estate and doing all kinds of things, and I was just getting going, just getting started. But when I started break, and I didn't go out to break the seals. That was something that's kind of interesting because I never even thought about breaking any seals. The first time I really came in contact with Revelation was I think about 6 years old. And I read it, and it really hit me. I felt something about it. I felt like I could understand it, right? But that was about it. I never paid attention anymore. And even Elijah Muhammad, I never, I just listened to Elijah. I listened, I stood everything Elijah Muhammad said. I didn't go off on the side, studying anything else. I stood everything Elijah Muhammad said, the lessons, everything he said. And it never occurred to me to get into the angel, think about it. I didn't even think it was called an angel. It was revelation to me at the time, but I never thought about it. And then what happened? One day, this was 1989, I believe it was. Uh, um, I know it was Easter Sunday, because my wife wanted to go over to her parents' house. They was in Irvington, and so she went upstairs and was talking to them. And I stayed out in the car, and I turned on going thing. I read because religious station. The guy was reading the Revelations, and it hit me. It was Easter Sunday. I said, I said, I can understand that. It just hit me like that, and that's when I started studying it. See? And I had a few setbacks and everything, and and then what happened is that I'm using King James Version, can't get anywhere with that. And I was working in New York at the time. When they broke up AT&T, I was an IT person. And so I was walking, got off the train. I was walking down the street I was working on Avenue 66, I think they call it, something like that. And 6th Avenue, I think it is. I think that's it. It's been a long time. I don't go to New York too much anymore. Anyway, and I'm walking down the street, and this guy is standing there with this book, this Jehovah's Witness. I never saw him before. He was just standing there. He called me over, and so he said, "Hey man, he's waving his book." So how things work. See, I don't believe that mystery God stuff because if you're not found grounded in math, I always been grounded in mathematics. Then you say, "Oh, wait, Jesus or Joe, somebody did this stuff." Because I've had all kinds of things in my life that's like magic. But I know it's mathematics. It's not some mystery God doing this stuff. So he's waving his book. So what's that? So he told me it's just a transliteral version of the Bible. I knew about Strong's Concordance, but I had never seen a transliteral. I didn't know what he found one at, and he had one, and it was free. And at the time, I was looking at King James. I was struggling because nothing, stuff just didn't gel. So I got the book, and that changed everything. Once I got in that book, man, I start opening those seals up. First I got the key because that book showed me how to get the key, and then the rest is history. And so I gave up everything, just like when I left the army, I gave everything, look for Elijah. So I gave everything, no, everything, all the story about Jonah, where everything he had this hedge around him. I mean, he was successful, he was happy, and went away overnight. That's exactly what happened. See, I'm not going to go into details, but somebody went off, and next thing I know, overnight, One day I had everything, next day I had nothing. It's all gone. And I didn't care. I did care to how it affected my children, but I didn't care other than that because I knew at that point it was either that or the angel, which one was going to be my choice. And I thought about my people. See, my people who has never cared about me because I've had nothing but trouble with my own people all my life. But they're my people. And how am I going to blame them for treating me bad if I'm going to treat them bad? Them just same category they are in, right? So maybe they need somebody to treat them, because I know how bad I was treated. So maybe they need somebody to treat them better. So I've taken the hits for 30 some years. And I'm still going, brothers and sisters. Some of you have probably seen some of these things people say about me and stuff. You know, probably say I'm blocking them, so they probably say a lot of stuff in the background. I don't see anymore. I don't care. I've been thrown in jail, locked down, children taken. Oh, I've had all. And still going on right now. I just lost a dear friend. I'm not going over the details. I've been knowing her for 50 years. She used to, she knew the messenger. Ran the messenger's dress shop. But she, she's a little older than me. In fact, she'll be 80 next year. And she was strong for the messenger, but she kind of like, last few years, she kind of like, old age started catching up with her. She kind of like, let stuff go. She got cancer and she just passed away a few days ago. Broke my heart. Because I know she was just close to the hereafter. I tried to encourage her to hold on, just keep active, but she just. So we'll see what happens with that. So I'm going to stop here, brothers and sisters. I just want to make it very clear. This is not Elijah Muhammad's message. Not in any way, face, fact. If it is, show me. If he broke the angel, show me. If he broke any part of the angel correctly, if he broke any part of the angel, any part of it, just any part of it, just one, just one chapter, half a chapter, a verse, correct? Because no one even got a chapter. Because I've looked, I've studied, I've watched these religious stations, all these people out here talking stuff. I have not seen anyone even get a verse right yet. Not even verse right. And I don't know how many, a lot of guesses by the dragon. He didn't explain it. What about the 7 heads and 10 horns? What about stuff? And the dragon is not who we think he was anyway. Then he talks about the 24 scientists. I mean, it's reflection in there, but that's not those 24 elders. They're the 24 scientists. So he used it, and I don't blame him for it. Elijah Muhammad, look, he could use me. He could use me as bait. I don't care, because for what he had to do, and he said himself, and Farad gave me a carte blanche. Whatever you need to do it. Nobody's going to hold you held blameless for whatever you need to do. Because if you're in such bad shape, you need to go out here and put this crap on hold, stop, in neutral. Because we was going 100 miles an hour in reverse. So nobody's knocking Elijah from me. Whatever he did, that's what I was in there. I sold 3 other papers a week like everybody else. I worked my ass off. I did everything Elijah Muhammad told me to do. I was a believer in good standards. And I never thought of myself as being no lamb. I never thought of myself as being like that. I had visions when I was small. I don't think of myself like that now. Because, what does things like that self mean? See, that's what these people think. Oh, man, you get the big head. What did Jesus say? The greatest, whoever want to be great, be a servant. I always look at myself as a servant. Do you see me talk to anybody like I'm superior? I don't think of myself like that. I used to have trouble in it. That's one of the problems I have with the angel, right? Because I look at the angel and it says, and I'm looking at myself and say, well, I'm the lamb. And so I said, I don't feel like I'm all of that. I don't want to be all of that. I said, once we get in here after me, I want me a piece of land someplace. I want to be left alone. I don't be bothering nobody. I don't be ruling nobody. I ain't never, even when I was in the military, I didn't want to do that. I ran so much flack. I was a sergeant. I got rid of so much flack because I did not want to tell people what to do. So these grown people, they should know what to do. No, you got to do it. You're a sergeant. Well, I don't need the money. But I don't be telling anybody. See, these big head people, they are tyrants. I'm the man. Like Farrakhan, you see, he talks that stuff in public. Talk to people that know him in private. He's a tyrant. He gets mad. He tell you what to do. Look how he deal with Khaled. He's a tyrant. That's that. You see people like most thing with this Tom Cruise thing lately, and he's all this in the public, but in the behind he was maybe like going off like. See, when you see people in private, they got their public face and they got their private face. What you see is your Farrakhan's public face. That's why he disemboweled. His private face is something else altogether. People that know me know I'm low key. I don't get anybody's business. I don't want to be anybody's business. I don't gossip. I don't do any of that kind of stuff. If they want to talk, I don't want to talk. But if they want to talk, then we want to talk about something substantive, or I don't want to talk at all. I ain't interested in all the BS. And I ain't interested in ruling and controlling nobody. And these clowns here talking that stuff, we're going to get rid of them. Anybody that's listening to this message, they cannot tell you unless they're lying that they get any hint of me trying to tell them to do anything. I'm not trying to force Islam on anybody. That's what Elijah Muhammad did. That's what Prophet Muhammad did. See what happened when they left? It fell apart. When you force somebody to do something, once you take the force away, they revert back to where they were before. You got to convert them from within with fire. Warm their hearts and minds. Then it comes flowing out. And then you got something real, because when you're not around, it's still going to be there. So when you talk about being the lamb and being the God and all that kind of stuff, Farad didn't carry stuff like that. That's the idea they give you. He called himself our nephew. See, when you find real gods and real leaders and real kings, right, they're humble. They ain't looking for nobody to kiss their ass like Farrakhan once. So be real, brothers and sisters. So these clowns, I don't want you to follow me. In fact, if I wanted to follow you, would be one of them anyway. So I just had to say that. So if any of you out there have a problem with that, fine. Just go on about your business. If there's no one here but me, that's fine. I'm just telling the truth. The truth's going to last forever. Mathematics lasts forever. I'm not, if that was little files and stuff, I would still be doing things differently than I'm doing right now. If I really wanted followers, I don't know how to get them. If that's what I wanted. People take care of me and give me money and stuff. Do for self. Ain't you heard that before? I take care of my own self. I ain't no child. Why I need you to take care of me? If you're God, you take care of yourself. Did Farad say, okay, here's my post office box, right? Elijah, send me money. Be real. The real God's taking care of stuff. They ask you for a damn thing. We say Allah is self-sufficient. Man. Brothers and sisters, wake up. We're going to get rid of all these tyrants. Those of you that make it hereafter, make to it the positive way, because some going to make it and they're going to catch hell. They're going to wish they died on this side. Like Muhammad said, they're going to walk past the graveyard and wish they could change place with the people in the grave. Those that make it, right? Those delivered for those who some everlasting life and some everlasting shame and atonement, those everlasting life. When you get there, you're going to see the scientists, Allah, Farad on them. Normal people, they be like, you're going to be your brother and your sister. You got females as scientists. Nobody be saying, hey man, kiss my foot, bow down to me. That's Cavy's way. We got to get out of that. That's why Father come and said, you my uncle, you my aunt. He never said worship him. Okay, bro, so I hope you understand. We got a job to do. Those of you who want to assist in the job, fine. I'm happy for your assistance. See, I give you much information as I can, right? So you have something to work with. I get all kinds of information. And remember the KISS theory, KISSS. Keep it simple, stupid. I give you enough information that what you understand, if you can translate it, fine. But keep it simple. You have to go in and talk esoteric stuff that's complicated, goes over people's heads. I talk about those things in presentations, and most of that is for those people that are studying, right? That want to get deeper and deeper and deeper into it because it's all yours. I'm just giving. First of all, let me say this and let me get out of here. I can't give you anything. What does that mean? I can't give anything. Okay, you take an apple seed, right? You plant it. The apple's already in the seed, ain't it? It just had to come out. You nourish it, you give it nourishment, sunlight, and the apple comes out. I'm nourishing you. The wisdom that you're going to have is already in you. I'm just trying to bring it out. The angel was already in me. Otherwise, I could never figure it out. I should have went there, right? Because let's get to a whole nother subject. See, the wisdom that Fraud had already been his nature, and so his father just brought it out. See, that's a teacher. Teacher brings it out. They can't force it in you. They have to bring out what's in you. But see, they can't do that to our youth because they don't know how to nourish our youth to bring it out. First, you have to know what it is. If you plant an apple, you know what apple seed needs to grow. You know what orange seed needs to grow. They don't know what our children need to grow. See, so therefore they not growing. See, the hereafter is already in you. You have to bring it out. See, the angel, to the extent the angel is already in you. I'm just trying to bring it out. See, you're already righteous people by nature. You just have to bring it out. See, they force all this filth. Like I keep telling you, the shit ain't in you, it's on you. We just have to bring it out. Nourish it. That's what it says. What it says in there, it says they'll be nourished from the face of the serpent. Now explain who that meant, right? Nourished. Has been nourished. See? It's already in you. The kingdom's already in you. The wisdom's already in you. And we try to nourish, bring it out, bring it out, bring it out, bring it out, bring it out. That's what I'm trying to do, brothers and sisters. That's what a good leader does. Bring it out. These liars, see, what they do, see, a real leader, they plant the seeds, let it grow. See? But liars and robbers, they eat the seeds. That's what Farrakhan comes, eat the seeds, see? You produce food for them. He lives in his mansion, all this kind of stuff. He ain't producing that for anyone else. See? A liar and a thief, they eat the seeds. A true shepherd, right? They plant the seeds. That's the word to use, gardener, whatever. They plant seeds and nourish it. That's why I'm a nourisher. See, Farrakhan's a consumer. He consuming you. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. So just to make sure we're clear, right? I'm not under Elijah Muhammad's authority. I'm not under Farrakhan's authority. I'm the high priest. He's the God. I have one job to do. He has another job to do. One's called Lord of Lords, King of Kings, and one's called King of Kings, Lords of Lords. That don't mean that we lord over you, we king power over you. We're gonna take, we're gonna beat you, and you gotta worship us, kiss our feet. That don't mean it. That's Farrakhan and size. That's them clowns. You better worship me or you're going to get the virus. As Jesus said, if you want to be, the greatest of you should be, right, the most humble, the best servant. See? I'm here to serve my people, not to serve up my people, like Farrakhan's I'm doing. And if you think otherwise, then tell me. If you see otherwise, anything I've said, anything I do, tell me. But we ain't stupid either. Because we respect each other. And I said that before. You have to respect for Rob for what he's doing. He's your brother, but you have to respect what he's doing. You got to respect that. That's consequence. If someone does something for you, you better show respect for it. That's consequence. That's righteous consequence. If you call him master, he's a master because he's mastered. He's mastered the technology, do what he's doing. So he's called a master. Okay? I use the term master because I've mastered the angel. It's qualified. I'm not a master like Massa. I'm not a master carpenter. If I was doing a car, I wouldn't say put master by my name because I'm not a master carpenter. That's why I put Al-Injil, I qualified. Master Suma, Al-Injil, master of the angel. That's what it means now, not your master. So don't get it twisted. I'm not your master. I ain't trying to be your master. I've mastered the angel. That's to let people know, you understand? They look, oh, this guy, because if you look for a doctor, right, you want somebody, if you go look for a doctor, you want somebody has doctor by his name, right? Oh, I'm going to see a doctor. Oh, there's Michael Jones. I'm just going to doctor by his name. You going to have him do anything with you? Because the doctor tells you that he's the guy that you need to go and see when you have a problem with your health. So if you want to understand the angel, you need to go to somebody that's mastered the angel. You understand? Master angel. But it's so simple. You know, it's simple once you understand it. But our people are so twisted and everything that simplicity, that's why I call it simplicity of Christ. Because everything, I'm telling you, is simple. But the point is so messed up, it's complicated to us. But once it gels in, once it settles in, it'll be okay. Because we just don't see that's what we want to be. What did Elijah Muhammad tell you? He said that the God hid himself repeatedly, right? Not the same person, but the seed, right? Or the original being is passed on, generation to generation. But he said he hid himself for trillions of years. Now, is that the trillions of years? Is that the type of personality a person trying to rule people? People worship him? He don't be bothered with nobody. He didn't want nobody worshiping him. He wanted to live his life. Because, you know, once he goes out there and marries, he knows there's a lot of people just will haunt him. Be around him all the time. Hey, this, that. Could you help me with this? I mean, then what kind of life is that? So he hid himself. He didn't let nobody know who he was. Because, you know, once he did, there'd be a whole lot of people that wouldn't give him any peace. Nobody's trying to get anybody, you know, that's Cave's way. Nobody trying to get anybody to worship them. At least I ain't. See? Like I told you, my vision in life, you understand, before I came in the Nation of Islam, right? I was coming back hard. But my vision in life was having this little piece of land someplace with a nice young lady that you know, we had a kindred spirit. A little farm someplace, isolated. that was my dream. Never got anywhere close to it. Never got anywhere close to it. Maybe I will in the hereafter. But I'm not looking to sell. I never could see myself. I never could, you know, let me say this, it's not really. Once I started breaking the seals, I still never could connect to myself being in this land they talked about. I could never, because I never could connect, because I couldn't see myself as being there. I see myself as somebody breaking the seals. And that's the way I see myself now. I don't see myself sitting on the throne and being a ruling, controlling everything here. I don't see myself that way. I see myself as once we get out here and we get rid of our enemies, right, and get me and get everything under control, to disappear as fast as I can and go find me a piece of land someplace, behind a mountain someplace, and get away from everybody as fast as I can. That's my vision. Assalamu alaikum.